Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Very creepy. We just got done checking out an advanced screening for Jordan Peele's new movie, Us. What did you think?
My first thoughts are that I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I think we agreed, we talked about it after the movie, as you do, sitting, waiting to see if there's any extra credits, that we both agreed we liked Get Out better.
Yeah. When we left the theater, went to use the restroom, Jessica, when I got out, she said that I wasn't the only one, that we weren't the only ones, that there was people who were kind of mixed about the movie. And I'm still kind of processing it, to be honest.
Some people are very loud about how much they disliked it. At least one guy, he was like, if I had a pair of scissors, I'd stab myself in the eyes for having watched that.
That's a title.
It's a bit
screen
extreme.
Right there. Yeah.
Nerds get extreme. Don't get me wrong. Fans and nerds and whatever, they can be very extreme in their opinions, but as anyone can be about anything they're passionate about. I liked it. Now, however, since this was a preview screening and everyone knew it was going to be a horror movie, a lot of people came to watch it who don't like horror movies because of the nature of the director and everything. And so we had a lot of disruption in the theater. We couldn't really... I think we missed a lot of the points of how you're supposed to feel during certain scenes because there was so much disruption.
I followed it pretty well. I didn't feel like there was a lot of disruption.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie, the crowd level was pretty quiet compared to when we went to go see How to Train Your Dragon 3. That was insane. Like, we wanted to leave the theater.
Well, that was just somebody talking, but
yeah.
This was reaction and people...
I like the idea of Jordan Peele's movies. I really like his stories, and
he tells great stories.
Yeah, how he tells the great stories, and like I know
they're very different.
A lot of people don't like M. Night Shyamalan
No.
Ding Dong. I like him because his movies kind of remind me of campfire tales. You sit around; they're very simple. I'm not saying Jordan Peele's.
A twist at the end.
I'm not saying Jordan Peele's movies are very simple, but I like his style of storytelling.
I would call it psychological thrillers.
Yeah. With that being said, Jessica and I are split down the middle on this.
Yeah.
She likes the movie Get Out. I don't. I liked Get Out more than I liked this movie. This movie, it was funny. I found myself laughing more than I was scared and jumped.
And that was my problem with the film. I would have loved it more had they not put so much comedy in it.
It was a lot of comedy.
Away from, you would get this built-up feeling, and then just as you were about to like have like a maybe genuine scare or something, there was more fucking comedy, and I just felt it really interrupted the flow of everything, and did, like you said earlier, made it feel
hokey.
Hokey.
Yeah. It was good comedy. Don't get me wrong.
No,
it was more funny than it was
Would you say
scary.
It was dad comedy?
There was a lot of dad comedy in it. My biggest problem with the movie, and I hate saying this, and Jessica doesn't really agree with me that much, but I to me, the killer for the movie for me was, see, it's so weird. I did not like Getting Out.
It's like, can you say it without giving too much away too?
Yeah.
So spoilers possibly for anyone who doesn't want to hear this. If you don't want to hear some small...
Well, I'm not gonna do any spoilers. No. So I did not like Get Out, but after this movie, I like Get Out. With that being said, I think Jordan Peele can make a great movie as long as he keeps everything realistic to an extent. This movie, I love the plot line. I'm not going to tell you much about it. But I felt like everything was way too over the top. Like, there was a decision to make it over the top. Like, whenever you go see a theater, like a stage production, whoever's on stage has to take whatever they're doing and amplify it so the people in the back row can see it. To me, that's what this movie was like.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, but some people did, though. You were saying, like...
No one had that. It just, as people were coming out, it was extremely divided from people who were exiting the theater.
Right down the middle.
You either loved it or you hated. Some people were really confused. because of the last scene.
Yeah, it was pretty self-explanatory.
I'll be honest, I think some people want to like it.
You had to think.
It's a new kind of, horror, psychological. I keep calling it psychological thriller because if you love Get Out, they're similar in the way they're directed by Jordan Peele. It's not your, slasher. It's not your boogeyman. If you've seen the trailers, you know what this is about. So we're not going to be spoiling anything
but
like
it takes
that for
it
you.
even further than that.
Yeah, I love the concept.
Yeah.
Love the concept. It is new. It's refreshing. And I feel like a lot of people wanted to love... I feel like people wanted to love this like how I wanted to love Hereditary. I wanted to love Hereditary so bad. And fight me, whatever. I don't like Hereditary.
No.
It bored me to fucking tears. Ooh, sorry.
That's okay.
It bored me to tears. I'm just used to being at Disney. I was in theater and found myself doing that fidgety stuff you do when you're bored. And when I recognized that I was doing it, I was going, oh, I'm barely paying attention to the movie because I'm so... like everything that they showed you in the trailers for Hereditary was all the good parts. So 3 minutes out of the movie was all the good parts. And I know some people like slow moving movies or whatever, but it bored me. It was too much. So I think a lot of people want to like this movie because it is so new. Like Hereditary was new, and because of the cast. Love the cast.
Yeah, the people from Black Panther, right?
Yes, yeah. You got a lot of the two main. The mom and dad, I think, are both from Black Panther. I don't know who the dad played. I have to go back and watch Black Panther. I love Lupita. She's so gorgeous, and she has a lot of great range. I liked that, and I think this is where we're contended too, is that you have a female lead in a horror.
We talked about this briefly. We are very split on this. I don't think it's... I don't think that the fact that she's a female lead has anything to do with it.
Well, it has nothing to do with your opinion, but that's one of the reasons why I like the movie is because it worked with the female lead.
Yeah, I love female leads in movies. Yeah. Hell, one of my favorite movies of last year was Ghostbusters, the remake. Everybody hated that movie because of the 4 female leads. I thought it was brilliant.
You know what?
It's an amazing movie.
And, I was one of those people before I saw it because I heard all these opinions about that it was filled with all of this, what did I say?
Feminist kind of jokes?
Feminist jokes and feminist agenda and blah, blah, blah. And how apparently there is a specifically feminine joke, like really thrown in there, like they're really pushing it. And I was like, oh, I love my girls, but I'm not that kind of person. I don't want it shoved in my face. And then you forced me to sit down and watch it, and then...
But I love Kate McKinnon. She's awesome.
I'm whatever on her, but my thing... it's the other one I don't like.
Kristen Wiig.
And at the end of the movie, I went... Nothing of the opinions that I've heard from people online and such like that were in there at all. It was not there. So, I don't think anyone who posted those opinions online actually even watched the movie. And if they did, they watched it with their own anti-feminism rose-colored glasses. So you really have to go and watch the movie to form your own opinion. And sometimes I do hear things and go, oh, well, that's not for me. I don't want to watch that. And then I watch it and go, where did you see that in this film? Didn't get that at all. So I like this movie. I would own this movie.
What's your favorite part of the movie? Without giving much spoilers, this is the fun part. I'll tell you mine, and you're gonna hate me for mine. And it's not I'm not gonna say the end. I'm not gonna say that. I actually had a favorite part in the movie, and it's not what you think. Or you?
do I say it and give away spoilers?
Okay. Be cryptic.
Twins.
Okay.
You probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Twins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if you're a fan of our videos and you're watching this, and you watch this, and then you go see the movie Us, and on the 22nd one it opens up, remember Twins.
Twins. One-word answers only. Go.
Oh, no, mine's not a one-word answer.
Well, okay.
But it has nothing to do with the movie. It has nothing to do with the movie, but it has everything to do with this movie. And I'm not going to say the end. It takes place in Santa Cruz. I love Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz also, if you're a horror movie fan, what other famous movie was filmed in Santa Cruz?
I don't know.
The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
The Boardwalk. It's The Lost Boys. The whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, The Lost Boys. Cry, little sister, cry.
Again, I like The Lost Boys. I don't love it. I know that's a huge movie for a lot of people. I do not like Kiefer Sutherland. Younger or age, I don't like him. I don't like his acting. His little cherub mouth pisses me off.
His little chubby cheeks. He's
I
got
don't know
like
what it is.
marshmallow
I
cheeks.
don't know what it is. Anyway, since I'm not a huge fan of Kiefer Sutherland, I haven't watched it a whole bunch of times, so I always thought, I'm sure they say Santa Cruz, but I always thought it took place, because I grew up in the Midwest, on Coney Island.
I can see that. I can see
because
it.
of the boardwalk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever really knew that California had a similar boardwalk with Ferris wheels and all that, and carnivals, until I was much older. But so it's always been implanted in my mind, because the only one I'd had heard about was Coney Island. So yeah.
We didn't get a popcorn or anything soda.
No.
Interesting piece of tidbit of information. I have been caffeine free for almost a month.
It's been like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 2 years ago, I quit smoking, and then I got really sick about a month ago. I was like bedridden, like really high temperature, and
like 104.
Yeah,
You were
and
sick.
I was so sick that I really couldn't eat or drink anything, and I was like majorly addicted to caffeine. So then all of a sudden that stopped, and I was going through
Like
caffeine
Monsters
withdrawal.
and soda.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
4 a day.
Monsters.
And it just like being sick, it's gone, and I've made a choice to I've just been drinking juice and water.
Better.
You have.
I still have one on a very rare occasion. I have maybe one soda every 2 weeks now, instead of every day having a couple. Dr. Pepper is my jam, especially strawberry Dr. Pepper. Oh my god, I love it. That stuff is crack. You get it at the freestyle machines if you try it out. But it's because soda leaves me feeling so bloated. And we were talking about, since we're still considered newlyweds, we're going to be celebrating our second year coming up in May.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have that love-hate, happy married weight that we're starting to get to. We've each gained a couple of pounds because I love your mug.
I do have a really nice mug collection. I got some from like all these different travels that I go to. And
well,
all
yeah,
this jazz.
I mean, our poison apple mugs, to say the least. Yeah. Those things are beautiful, but yeah, so we're trying to eat healthier and everything. But back to the movie.
I'm almost 40. I'm gonna be 40 years old this year. What the heck?
I'm not telling you my age.
She's like.
You can guess. Comment below. You can guess. I might tell you if you're right. Maybe. So back to us. I really did enjoy it. Like I said, for me, it was a very loud theater, because anytime there was any kind
packed.
of an interesting scene coming, yeah, it was sold out.
Full house.
Anytime there's an interesting scene coming up, people were talking at the screen. Basically, that's what I mean by disruptive. Is that people were talking at the screen, talking to themselves. Shit, bitch, no, don't do that. So it was a bit disruptive. If I'm in a theater, I want that shit so quiet you can hear a pin drop. Or else it's like my attention is divided because of the sounds I'm hearing off wherever and at the screen. So it's very difficult for me if there's a lot of disruption, and I try to tune that out the best I can. I wasn't annoyed by the disruption here, because I can tell it was genuine reactions, though. It wasn't just someone talking through the film.
Right.
It was genuine reactions, but it did, for me, remove a bit of that movie-going experience where you're almost in this, like, nice, like, dark scene.
I think we're just getting old.
No.
I'm getting old. She's staying young. Like, every time we go to the movies, we have this problem where everybody's talking and everybody's so loud, and it's just like, you are going to perish in this room. I shouldn't say that. But
when it has been quiet, then I get the people who are like, who can't sit still, who whenever they cross and uncross their feet constantly, but as they're doing it, they're kicking the back of your chair.
Every time we see a movie,
Every time.
on the drive home, I'm like, never again are we going to go see a movie. Ever. We're going to watch them from home. And but we go because we love the theater. We love the, as the lady was saying, yeah, we love the theater.
I love the theater. So final closing thoughts.
Well, there's one thing I do want to say.
Okay.
For some reason, every time that I watch a horror movie, whether it's called for or not, for some god-awful reason, I know why, I want there to be this gratuitous amount of blood. I think
there's a fair amount of blood.
There's a lot of blood in this. Like when we did Halloween, our last movie,
happy about that.
Our last movie review that we did on this, I said there wasn't enough blood. It needed to be blood, and that trails back to a movie that Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, did. Called Dead Alive.
I love Dead Alive.
Dead Alive, the lawnmower scene. Like ever since then, I'm like, there needs to be blood in everything. Full House, let's have some blood.
They did not shy away from their violence in this film, so
it was good.
For me, Get Out, it was much more of a psychological thriller. I would put this one in more of the horror category because there was a good amount of violence, good amount of blood. And also, it played on your mind a bit. And I like that. I like this movie. I love Jordan Peele. I mean, not only is he a damn fine comedian, he's stretching his legs and giving us some amazing concepts.
This Twilight Zone stuff's coming.
Ooh.
April 1st.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've heard amazing things about that. I've heard such good things about that, and I'm looking forward to it.
You know what I found out today? Speaking of Jordan Peele, The Twilight Zone, we love Disney. The movie, the film that you watch during the Twilight Zone ride at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
It's directed by Joe Dante, who directed The Burbs, Gremlins, The Howling. He actually made that movie that you watch. Isn't that crazy?
He's a director buff. Producers, directors, all that stuff. I can't keep names together to save my life or following unless it's like Tim Burton. I can tell his work, but it's also not even a real film. It's pieced together from other episodes.
Well, no, but like where they show the guests getting into the elevator and they disappear, like they walk through that scene. That's all from
yeah. But the whole splurb that you see, I don't know if they showed it in California, but the one you see here in Florida at Walt Disney World's Hollywood Studios, it starts off like a normal Twilight Zone episode, and it's not. They pieced it together and they recorded his voice using some fancy dub machine work.
By no means are we film buffs, film historians, or anything like that.
Yeah, we're just fans.
We're just fans.
We're movie fans.
I use Jordan Peele and M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's name pretty much in the same context. In not so much that like reputation, but to me, even though M. Night Shyamalan has been making Ding Dong has been making movies for many years, and did you also know that he actually wrote the screenplay for the kids movie? Oh my God, I can't remember it. The little mouse, Stuart Little. To me, I like M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's movies, but I feel like he hasn't grown. Like, all his movies are the same. In the same context, I use Jordan Peele's movies.
I can see
I feel like he's a very fledgling director, like he's feeling out things, but I feel like he's very complex in his writing, his directing, and his producing, and there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff coming from him.
I hope he keeps going
His first movie was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. I really, really hope that he keeps giving us more movies in this genre. Like I said, I love him so much as a comedian. Damn, is that man funny. But please continue to give us more movies in this genre.
Yeah.
Because it is so refreshing and fucking good. It is good. Like I said, I wasn't in love with it, and partially I think that's part of my movie going experience was taken back by a little bit. I would come and see this movie again, hoping for maybe a quieter audience, or if I see it at home again, I think I would have a better experience with it. But some of us are a little bit particular about how we need to experience things to give an honest, full-fledged opinion. So I like it. I really like it, actually. I'm a step below loving it.
We saw the movie for free. Advanced screening. Thank you, Mind on Movies, based here in Orlando, I do believe. We saw the movie for free.
First come, first serve.
I enjoyed it.
Yep.
I would see it again, but only on discount days. I wouldn't pay full price for it, a full price ticket.
We don't do that anyway. Anymore.
Yeah, we wouldn't. But I mean, like, if
AMC and Regal, and I think one other has on Tuesdays. If you're a member to their programs, you get $5 movies. With AMC, I believe, you can be a member of their non-paying program and do it, whereas other people, you have to pay for it. So that's why we don't see full-fledged price movies anymore, because generally something comes out on Friday, we go see it on Tuesday. We don't have to see it at opening weekend, you know. And usually the crowds are a little bit better also. But I would definitely see it again, and I'm looking forward to owning it and seeing the special features.
Yeah, the special features and the commentary. Yeah. Hopefully he does a commentary to this movie. I would definitely watch that because, like I said, he's a very complex writer, and the story that he came up with for this movie, and I point because it's raining the theaters back that way, you can tell that he really spent some time to it. And at the same time, you can tell that it's not like it was a rough-cutted kind of movie, like there's things missing.
No.
But you could tell that...
It's so rich.
Yeah, but you could tell that there were pieces missing. Not so much from the story, but some, like, they couldn't fit it in there in almost like a time slot.
That may be because they cut something.
Maybe they'll come out with a director's cut.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Maybe something was cut and you're feeling like you feel that the scene was probably there before and you...
Shadows. That's why.
You wanted more explanation?
Yeah, because, like, the whole...
There's always so much explanation thrown in.
When all the characters come together and you meet them all in the same room for the very first time, one of the characters starts telling a story and... Shadows. Maybe that's why I don't like it, because it's like very Peter... Oh, dang it!
Who?
It's very Peter Pan-ish. I don't like Peter Pan.
No, I don't either, but no, that's not even... I'm cutting off your opinions
yeah,
here because...
I'm starting to go all over the place.
You're all over the place, but again, last closing thoughts. It's worth going to see in theater because... The colors alone, the cinematography on the big screen, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. If you're someone who jumps easily, I think you'll get a few scares out of this, for sure. I'm not a person who jumps in theaters, so I personally didn't. But again, the experience didn't allow for it. But a lot of people did. A lot of people, I felt, naturally jumped, but they were also scaredy cats. So.
And if you don't like horror movies... Just remember, the movie Us is a family movie about a family getting together with another family at the beach, and there's a lot of fluffy bunnies.
Which is actually not even untrue, what he just said. It's not untrue. That is a part of...
We're going to take your mom to see it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. She's too smart for us. She's seen the previews.
I tried telling her Halloween was a family-friendly movie, too. That didn't fly. And
Again,
The Nun.
Not
it's
untrue.
religious.
It's not entirely untrue. And also not untrue. Those are all pressing points. Yeah. So, okay. See the movie. Support a fledgling director because I don't think you'll regret it, honestly.